God, it's such a fucking faff to get everything ready. Put your fucking lights on, mate. Oh God, here we go. Fuck off. It's always a thing being on a small bike, as an aside, on a small little vehicle, is people push in like that all the time. Like, they can see you're obviously going there, but they just try and pull out anyway, because, you know, fuck you, you're on a little two-wheeled machine. But the roads at least seem dry, which they weren't this morning, and I think this is going to be the only riding day I'm going to get for the better part of a week, because the forecast is utter shite. Oh man. So, yeah, first riding day since last Saturday. The weather was too bad to go out any other day. Well below freezing Celsius. Well below 0 Celsius most of the week. And I really wanted to get the bike out. I really did. So I'm kind of glad I got a chance today. Friday, every fucking day. And my poor wife has had to suffer without a vehicle. I mean, she says that she's not going to do much when it's freezing cold anyway, but still, I suppose it's nice to have the option, which she didn't really have. So yeah, where are we? Mid-January, and it's actually been a pretty decent winter so far. I shouldn't really complain. Christmas Eve was 65 degrees Fahrenheit, which really was remarkable. Went out for a nice long ride, did about 100 miles, but it's kicked in with a vengeance, and now we've got below average temperatures and all the associated phenomena for a couple of weeks. But I've only been riding since September, and I use the bike for commuting. I'm returning from work now, and I always said that I would use it as much as I could, barring ice and snow, and that's pretty much what I've done. And last week I did this journey, and it was really quite shitty. It was pissing down with rain, and a little bit later on I very nearly came off the bike, which was unusual because there's been plenty of rain here. Rain in itself is nothing to really worry about. It is Pittsburgh and it does rain in winter. But on one of the back roads that I take home to bypass these crappy stop and go streets, it was really bad. And it didn't look particularly worse than the usual rainy surface, but something had been laid down, and I consequently very nearly dropped the bike when it fishtailed, going around a bend at very modest speeds, something like 10 miles an hour. And one of those moments where I thought, oh, here we go, I'm going to fall off the bike. That's nice. My immediate thought wasn't, oh, this is going to hurt. It was actually, oh God, it's fucking January and I can't really afford this. But them's the breaks. If you ride a motorcycle and you ride all year round, then that's the risk you take. So I was quite encouraged today because I saw one other guy riding his bike on the road outside work about an hour before I left, and there was also another motorcycle in the garage. And that is by no means a given, because often on these days I've been the only person on the road. Good to go, we are good to go. Do not turn left, Mr. Van, thank you. God, it feels nice to actually open the throttle a little bit. The roads have been so shit, and it's usually been raining, that I haven't been able to actually ride the bike with any kind of stupidity. Do not turn left, thank you very much. Put your fucking lights on, mate. Seriously, I mean, it isn't night time, but it's dark, it's pretty dim. Just put your lights on, help people out. I had to adjust my clutch after last Saturday. It was, it developed a little bit of play, about half an inch, which I just hadn't noticed. Because it wasn't affecting anything, I just was sitting at a traffic light and I thought, oh, that's actually a little bit floppy. And I did it, it's very straightforward to do. You just tighten the lock nut up, not the lock nut, tighten the adjuster up, do a lock nut, leave it to the right tolerance, I think it's 2 to 3 millimeters according to Kawasaki. And away you go. But I've actually loosened it up a little bit because it meant the travel was right at the end of the lever, which is by design on the 300, but I'd forgotten what a fucking pain in the arse it is. And I want to get some adjustable levers, but it would be an indulgence at the moment, and I don't know if it's really something that I need, but you know, fucking hell, it's never stopped me before. So yeah, I loosened it up slightly. The specification says 2 to 3 millimeters, but it's just a little bit more than that, maybe 3 or 4. And now it's back to how it was. So it was very odd. It was screwing up all my down changes because I didn't quite have the muscle memory was wrong for the friction zone on the lever. But we'll see how it goes. I'll just have to get used to it if it does need tightening again. This is really quite muddy. Well, I mean, it isn't now, but you can see it's been muddy. It's got a slightly brown cast, and I think that's probably what caught me out last week. And this is absolutely the long way home, but I wanted to go this way because I might not be able to ride the bike for some time again, and just simple pleasures, you know. Plus the alternative is sitting in city traffic for a bit longer to then go on the parkway, which is a 10-mile stretch of freeway. And at least we've got a long weekend, but the weather's going to be crap. And actually, I've just noticed that this road is again a bit shitty, so I'm going to have to be careful. Oh my god, it's so fucking bumpy around here. Like every time I don't use it, I forget how bad it is. Oh, dry but a bit muddy. Ah, fucking hell. All sorts of shit. So I'm trying a different microphone position because this is the first time I've actually really tried to capture voice as opposed to just the engine. Normally I just stick the I've got a little stereo recorder, little Sony thing I paid far too much money for, sitting under the rear seat. Usually it's actually in my pocket now with the microphone plugged into it, but I was quite taken with that, but I thought, you know, some commentary might be good and it gives me something to do when on days when I feel like talking and just trying to while away the time. But I tried it earlier and I had the microphone in the cheek pad, which is a tip I picked up from numerous people saying it was the best way to do it, but it didn't really work. I got, if the bike wasn't moving or there was no engine sound, it was absolutely fine, but if the bike was doing anything at all, it was absolutely shite. So see how this goes. If it's complete gobbledygook, YouTube will never know. And this was the little stretch of road where I had my difficulties last time, which is a shame because it's usually an absolute hoot in the dry. It's very nice, maybe a little bumpy down here, but this corner up here was wonderful when it was a little bit dry. Yeah. This is it. No trace of it now. But yeah, a lot of... ooh. I'll bet that was what it was. Probably all the mud from that turn. People coming out there. Huge pothole there, which I always remember. So, some of these roads got me thinking. My next bike, I was thinking of something like a Ninja 650. I mean, this is all hypothetical because I don't know when that's going to be. It's probably be a couple of years. But I was thinking something like a 650 might be fun. But then I thought, yeah, you know what? Like, I want something with a little bit more give in the suspension, because some of these back roads, especially on my commute, are not fantastic. This road is not great. I mean, look at it, it's shit. And while I don't have to take it, it's nice to have the choices, you know? Oh god, I forgot how fucking tedious this turn is. So as you can see, it's been cold enough for the snow not to melt. I mean, it's not so bad today. I think it's about 30, 38, 39. I don't need my heated gloves, so it's not cold enough for those. So these gloves are normally good until about 37 or so. Although I feel my hands getting a little bit chilly. But ever since I've started motorcycling, I have had a deep hatred of winter. Maybe not hatred, but like, it gets in the way. And it gets in the way either through obliging you to wear lots of gear, or by throwing such shit weather at you that you've got no choice but to not go out. That's totally unnecessary, mate. My bike is due for its 3,800 mile service soon, so I'll see how much the dealer can rinse me out for that. And there's a number of things I'm confident to do on my own, service-wise, but the early services I thought, no, I'll let them do it, because they are the experts, and, well, perhaps not that they're the experts, but they know more than I do. Oily, oily, oily. They know more than I do, and at this stage of my experience, I'd rather not leave critical-ish maintenance to my own learning exercise. So I'm happy to do things like chain adjustments and simple user stuff like throttle and clutch cable adjustments, but anything more than that the dealer can do, and I'll just hand them over a huge fucking bundle of cash and feel like an absolute twat for the bargain.
What is that?
Camera.
A camera?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's like a dash cam, so much stuff happens, I've got to keep it, you know. See you later. Still, positives. It's getting brighter. Much brighter, actually. Usually, last 6 or 7 weeks, I would be sitting in the dark now. There is a lot of mud on the road. I mean, obviously there's been a lot of snow, but there's been a lot of rain too, but there doesn't usually leave this much crap on the road. I guess the snow just slowly draining off, just takes it all with it. And if that sounds like an obvious observation, bear in mind it is my first winter riding, and in a car I probably wouldn't pay any attention to this stuff, but obviously on a bike that can hurt you, so it becomes a much bigger deal to assess. So on the subject of audio, I've no idea how anybody else does this, and actually specific guides you can find a lot on YouTube, but they're always for different helmet or recording gear combinations. So this helmet, it's an HTC CL17. I really like it. It was a affordable, safe. It's SNEL certified as well as DOT, which is good. It's not hugely comfortable. It's not uncomfortable, but I've been under the impression that a different helmet would probably be a nicer fit. It's loud. It's really fucking loud. Let's go up here because this is bollocks. Oh, engine. Sorry, bike. Yeah, it's super loud, and I have to wear earplugs anyway because it's noisy enough to warrant it. But the one thing it did is with the audio, it absolutely fucking destroyed the microphone. Like, totally overloaded the recording, even with low sensitivity on the stereo recorder I use. My god, this road is shit. So I thought, oh well, the old talking side might have to wait, or at least recording the talking side, because I can't really do much about that, and I'm certainly not going to buy a new helmet just to go vlogging with. Oh, fucking hell. Not everybody has the same idea. So if I just park my lorry here, and Stop, 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 stop. Oh, America, you and your stop signs. Nice. God, I can't wait till it's drier more and a little bit warmer. Because, I mean, I can bitch about winter, but I have to say, these roads are absolutely stunning. I mean, they're nice. They're really pleasant to ride on, even at home, England, obviously, for those of you that don't think I'm Australian. Even at home, I didn't really have many roads close to me that were as pleasant as this. I've got to wash my bike this weekend because it's really got a lot of this crap on it. The white stuff you can see on the road, or perhaps you can't see, so just imagine it's there. The white stuff is salt, little salt residue, and obviously that needs to be cleaned off. But I have to pick the time to do it because the bike is stored outside under a cover, and if I try and just chuck water on it, it'll just freeze. My god, it's light. It's really quite nice. That's happened in the space of a week or so. So that entire detour that I've taken from the city, all those winding roads and sort of suburban semi-rural bits, is all to avoid this crap that you can see up there. Here we go. Come on, get a fucking move on. Mr. Chevrolet, put your bloody lights on, please. So another thing I realised actually was when I was looking at the footage from the GoPro 3 Hero White, only shoots medium field of view at 1080, and I was looking at that and I realised that the angle is actually, the mount is actually slightly canted over. And it must have happened when I put the adhesive mount on. It's got a very slight lean on it, but at a narrow field of view it's very noticeable, and you can probably see it on this footage as well. So this is me holding my head straight and it's tilted. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's something, when I become aware of it, it annoys me. And I might swap for a side mount actually, because I don't know about the chin mount. I just don't know. I know a lot of people favour it, but I feel, being as tall as I am, I have to have it canted up at quite an angle to get enough in the frame, and it sticks out a little bit. Yeah, this is unusual. Don't turn left, thank you.